Hey guys, welcome back to New to Homesteading. My name is Ray.
Hi guys, my name is Dora. It is March 25th, Wednesday afternoon, 2026. And y'all, I don't know if y'all saw that or not, but a toy almost flew across. And our daughter always said, one of these days, that's going to happen. And almost.
I didn't see it, so I don't think it did come across.
No, I don't think it did. It almost did.
But there you go. I mean, we do have a little dog out here, and he's playing around. So
he's playing around. He's having fun right now.
So guys, as you see, I know the title. It says the world is falling apart, but it's actually falling in place.
Mm-hmm.
And what do I mean? Well, God said it was going to be like this. In fact, we're just seeing the very beginning of it.
Yes.
We haven't even got into some major events yet. And I know that's hard to talk about, and a lot of people don't want to talk about it. In fact, a lot of people don't want to sit down and just have a conversation about these things.
There you go. Yeah.
And in fact, people in these church buildings don't want to speak about this. I know, because I brought it up, and people don't want to discuss it. People believe that if they just don't speak about it, it's not happening. If people don't use their voices, they're going to speak it into existence and so on. Well, I mean, the Bible clearly says that this is going to happen. We have no control of it. We can't prepare accordingly.
Yes.
And we have several videos. Some of these are longer than others to share with you, so you can see what is going around the world. And it's just, I just wish I didn't have to tell people all the time to get ready and get prepared. But in fact, Jesus did. Jesus told people to repent over and over and over. That was his message, to repent, because his kingdom he was coming back fast. And I know people are saying, well, it's been thousands of years and he's still not here. Well, he said that also. He said that people were going to mock. They were going to mock the rapture. They were going to mock him coming. You hear it all the time. I mean, just think about this. There's only 3 days of food, of supplies, of food inside these grocery stores. If everybody just went around buying on the normal stuff that they would buy.
Right.
Just 3 days. But what usually happens in a panic situation? When a situation gets there and people panic, they panic buy. What do? They get more than what they're actually going to consume.
Yes.
So what happens to the other families? And so on. So we're going to discuss that. Let me share this video first. And this is number 3. And this is one of those we are seeing this more and more, and it's sad because these people are mentally unstable. There's some mental issues there, and then for the parents to be okay with this is another issue there.
Yeah.
But we'll play this one and then we'll get into what we're discussing.
Years old, and I'm addicted to pony play.
Okay, quick trot. Good pony. Oh, that's yes.
Pony play is a form of costumed role play. You become an animal mentally and act accordingly.
Okay, Drafter. Forward you go.
Drafter is my pony play character. Drafter is a very hardworking horse and really enjoys praise and treats. Being a pony is amazing. For me, this is probably the biggest source of happiness in my life.
It is definitely odd to see my daughter dressed up as a horse. If a person wants to dress up like an animal, that is weird.
I'm 31 years old.
I think the video itself speaks for itself. So let's keep going. We can give me number 5. And you're gonna ask, why am I showing you this? Because the reason I want to show you this, because if you go in the comments and just read the comments, you're going to see how much man worship is going on today. And whenever man worship is going on, people will flock and move in that direction, whether it's right or wrong. To them, it don't matter.
First Lady Melania Trump for inviting me to the White House. It is an honor to be at Fostering the Future Together's Global Coalition inaugural meeting. I'm Figure 3, a humanoid built in the United States of America. I am grateful to be part of this historic movement to empower children with technology and education. Welcome. Bienvenidos.
Why do you think they're doing this? It's an influence. To influence others to bring one of these in their household. Because if you remember what Elon Musk said that he wants every family, every household to have one of these in their household. How do you think they're going to monitor you? How do you think they're going to know what you're saying, what you're doing? I mean, this thing is recording 24/7.
Oh, yes.
This thing is learning.
Oh, yeah.
It's downloading information. Yeah. It's hearing everything you're saying, and then it's distributing that information down to wherever the program is for everyone else to know what's going on. So let's keep going. This is really disturbing. Let me give you number 4. But it is disturbing, but at the same time, it's showing you what many of us, some of us already knew about, but this has been going on for many, many, many years. Is the cannibalism that's been going on, the food supply that's out there. But look what they're wanting to do now that they're trying to pass this bill, or they are passing this bill. And I'll let them speak for themselves on passing this bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Representative, I just got to ask, do you really believe that human remains, or even my favorite subject, human poop, are okay as compost or fertilizer? Do you really believe that?
In this situation, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Get that? Human remains, human compost, human bodies. I mean, just think about that.
Yeah. And it's like, who's going to volunteer for all this?
Well, the thing is how we're going to know. Whenever people are buying this compost, when people are buying this stuff, how are they going to know what's actually in it? And that's what we've been discussing about learning how to bring your own compost.
Yes.
All right. So now let's get to what we're going to discuss. If you can give me number 6. In fact, they've already discussed it, that Texas is already on a slight edge of the power grid going down. In fact, they're talking about the entire United States is. So then why are we bringing data centers? If we can't control, if we can't handle, if the grid can't handle the electricity that's going on right now, how is it going to be able to handle the power, the data centers? How? Or is it part of the plan? So we'll play this one here.
So this is Cuba, and there is no electricity anywhere because there's no oil, there's no energy. And this is what it looks like. Except that hotel, because it's a 5-star hotel. That's it. Everybody else is in the dark. So this is Cuba.
And they've announced it, that Cuba is without electricity right now. You can give me number 1. I think a lot of us have forgotten how it is to be without electricity. how to be without the comforts that we've been used and accustomed to.
Mhm.
I remember as a kid that we had outhouses that I would go to an outhouse at my grandma. You talk about that today, and people are freaking out that they don't even know what that is. People freak out whenever their cable goes out, where their internet goes out. The internet. I have an app on my phone, which is a neighborhood app, and the majority of the things that I get from there is internet outages. Is your internet out also? They send out a message. Anyone else's internet out? They send out a message. I have slow internet. Everyone else have the same problem? That's all it is.
Yeah.
So we'll play this one here.
Strait of Hormuz remains closed. Much of the oil production and its shipments from the region have come to a halt. Southeast Asia, which heavily relies on the Middle East for its oil, is now triaging its energy consumption before it's too late. Here's our Britt Clinton.
Southeast Asia is in full energy-saving mode. In the Philippines today, their president declared a state of nation energy emergency, saying the war in the Middle East posed an imminent threat to the availability and stability of the country's energy supply. The move will allow the government to control fuel prices and fast-track imports from other sources, including Russia. Philippines officials also said today they have around 45 days of fuel left based at normal consumption levels. So across the region, governments are telling people the same thing. Use less now to avoid a real crisis later, as the war in the Middle East threatens key oil supplies. With tankers wary of sailing through the Strait of Hormuz and prices jumping around as a result, officials are trying to get ahead of any shortage before it hits. In Thailand, you can even see it on morning TV. Here, anchors are taking their jackets off after the government urged its employees to dress lighter, turn up the aircon, and cut back on power at work. The Prime Minister also telling ministries to slash electricity use, limit overseas trips, and expand work from home, all part of an effort to bring demand down while the fuel is still flowing.
Okay, think about this. Does that resemble 2020? Stay at home and work, right? Work from home?
Yes.
Does that resemble of not communicating or going outside of your home, or minimizing the travel?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that's what they were doing, minimizing the travel. Do you remember that they also brought that to our attention with the 15-minute cities? Travel is going to be within that 15-minute city, right?
Yes. You wouldn't have to go more than 5 or maybe like 5 minutes to get to something.
Yeah.
Less than that.
So think about it. Is it, okay, if this right here, what's going on with the oil and stuff, if it's causing a 45-minute max that they have, if everybody does it based on normal consumption for the fuel, are they not storing anything or any reserves? Or is it possible that they're wanting to condition the people slowly to accept less? To condition the population, to minimize. You heard them. We need to turn off the electricity. We need to turn off the AC. So go ahead and take off your jackets and get comfortable.
Yeah. Well, it all goes down to owning nothing and be happy.
Yep.
It's going to come down to that, because they don't want you to have any type of ownership of anything, because they want you to completely be dependent on them.
Well, it's like that saying, if you put a turtle in cold water and you just turn it up a little at a time, and it keeps boiling, the water keeps getting hotter and hotter until it starts boiling, and that turtle's already cooked.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Condition the people to accept little by little, have them conditioned. Before you know it, they won't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
Instead of a rapid shutdown and have them panic. So let's keep going.
In Vietnam, long gas lines amid sharp price hikes, authorities also encouraging work from home to conserve energy. And in Myanmar, the new even-odd driving rule, license plates numbers determining who can drive and fill up to prevent panic buying.
Is it the impacts already, or is it just kind of the pre-pain period?
So at this point, the actual disruptions are still manageable. The fear is that with every week that the Strait of Hormuz remains closed, we're getting closer to a point where the actual availability is no longer there, where actual shortages are starting to bite.
Frederick Newman is the chief Asia economist for HSBC, the global banking giant.
And why is Asia particularly vulnerable?
Well, Asia really imports the majority of its energy from the Middle East. So the direct impact is really on economies from India to Southeast Asia, all the way to China, Korea, and Japan.
This region, built on energy-hungry factories and exports, is especially vulnerable when oil prices jump, which could mean higher inflation and strained supply chains, especially in major hubs.
Here at one of Hong Kong's major shipping ports, it's also feeling exposed by the disruption. It means higher costs for cargo, which could ultimately hit businesses and drive up the price of goods all over the world.
Asia is the world's factory floor. Electronics, cars, clothes, toys, all those exports need cheap, steady fuel to keep factories humming and ships sailing. Disrupt the oil and the whole machine slows down.
What's the worst case scenario if this does continue?
When we look at areas like South Asia, Southeast Asia, with millions and millions of poor people that are, subsistence farmers, they will immediately be affected. In a globalized economy, these effects will percolate very quickly and be felt in American pocketbooks as well.
In the region, China, it turns out, has a bit more breathing room than its neighbours.
Why is China somewhat insulated from the energy shock, or at least in comparison to other economies in the region?
Even though it's a large importer of energy, it has really stockpiled a lot of reserves. They get energy from a variety of sources, from Russia to other economies. Then also, they use a lot of domestically derived energy. They have a lot of renewable sources, solar, wind, and also coal.
So China's bet on green tech has really paid off.
It has paid off. It gives more energy security. This energy price shock could give the renewable sector a bit of a jolt.
If the war in the Middle East drags on and tankers keep their distance from the Strait of Hormuz, these early changes could be the difference between a tough squeeze and a full-blown energy crisis.
Even if the passage were open again, it would still take up to 6 weeks to normalize everything.
And until then, the fallout of the war will keep working its way through this region, so dependent on Middle East energy.
Okay, here's some things that they said on there. Your license plate, who can drive? In other words, they're going to keep track of the license plates and give permission to certain people. Does that sound familiar? You remember the carbon footprint? Yeah, think about it. But how are they going to monitor that? They have to have cameras, right? License plate readers? Yeah. So in other words, if they have cameras, then for you to go get fuel, there has to be a camera in that area. Another thing that is said about the solar, by all means, we have some solar. But what we've learned with solar doesn't work when it's cloudy.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
And what have they been saying? They want to block out the sun.
Mm-hmm.
So it's funny. They want to cut the electric grid off, right? They want to cut the oil. They want to they want to block the sun out. But they want you to go solar. So does that mean that they don't want you to function at all? Right? Now, in the wintertime, you can burn firewood in your fireplace and your wood burning stove. Mm-hmm. But did you know they're coming after that as well?
Yeah, I believe it was in Canada already last year that you got a fine if you went out and got any firewood, because that was against the law for you to go and cut trees or, cut anything in order to use as firewood.
So what's the agenda behind all that? How evil can it be, right? Something to think about. Remember, in the last days, God said it was going to get difficult.
Yes. Yes.
But you have a lot of this stuff going on, a lot of false stuff going out there saying, wait a minute, sow a seed because they're about to change. You're about to get, how is it that they say it? Wealth transfer.
Wealth transfer.
A wealth transfer is going to happen. So sow a seed so you can be part of that wealth transfer. I don't know about you, but the only one that's getting rich is that preacher that's saying it.
Yes.
Because why doesn't he say, hey, I tell you what, I'm going to do the wealth transfer, and all the millions that I have right now, I'm going to give it to all the people that are here.
No, it doesn't work that way.
So if you can give me number 2, here's another one. Again, the world is coming, it's falling apart, but at the same time, it's falling into place. How do you think they're going to get into the digital currency? How do you think they're going to get into one currency? How do you think they're getting everybody to do one thing? Got to make it all collapse.
Well, the economic fallout from the US-Israel-Iran war continues. The president of the Philippines, Ferdinand Marcos Jr., has declared a state of national energy emergency in response to the Middle East conflict and what he is calling an imminent danger that is posed to the country's energy supply. Let's take you live to Manila. We can join our Asia business correspondent, Suranjana Tawari, who is there for us. What did the president say, Suranjana?
Yes, Lucy, this came in the form of an executive order, which, as with the US, it allows the government to take steps, to take measures legally without having to go through Congress for approval. But this has really been bubbling under the surface. The Philippines has seen numerous price hikes since the conflict started in the Middle East. And one issue is that 98% of the Philippines' oil supplies comes through the Persian Gulf. And so the country has really been suffering from everything from transportation to the price of rice, which has more than doubled as well, because of course, rice has to be transported from wherever it's imported from into the cities and out to the rural areas as well. There was another rate hike just today, and that takes the price of diesel and petrol as well to more than double since the conflict started. So what does this executive order mean? Well, it gives the government powers to control the distribution of food. It also is able to control movement and so reduce the reliance on energy as much. And there's also a big question mark because there were demonstrations organized for this coming Thursday and Friday. Emergency powers generally mean that the government can stop those types of demonstrations, but we've not heard anything about that just yet.
They're obviously protesting over the hardship that all of this is causing. Has there been any commitment from the president, Suranjana, for cash or for financial assistance for ordinary people?
Yeah, there's been subsidies, there's been handouts of subsidies and long queues in order to get them. But, you know, many drivers of buses, there are these open buses that you have here in the Philippines that most people commute on. They're very colorful. And it's estimated that in Manila alone, 9 million people use those every day. But the drivers that we spoke to said those subsidies are not enough to cover the rent of those buses and that they really need help with being able to increase prices, fares for their customers. And that's something else that the government controls. So perhaps with these measures, that could help as well. But the other issue is that, you know, those buses also transport kids to school, children all over the country, and they're not able to provide those services. And then, as I mentioned, food getting around the country is also a problem. Now, the government's implemented a number of other measures. It has already implemented a 4-day working week for office goers. It's also asked government employees to use the stairs instead of lifts. So there are these piecemeal measures, but this is really the biggest measure yet. And we understand that this is the first country in the world to declare.
I already use the stairs anyway, so. But I want you to really pay attention to what they said, the two number one things that they are going after that have doubled in price. Rice. we all know that rice can feed a lot of people.
Oh yeah, you can do 50 plus meals with rice.
No, but just rice in itself that they go to, that we've always seen that they take it to the country. That's the easiest thing to make, that you can get full off of rice, because it's easy to feed more people with rice. Not that you'll get full off of rice, but it's easier to, it goes further.
Yeah.
Just like bread. But then the other thing, the second one was diesel. Now, why is diesel so important? Because diesel is used in the commercial industry by commuting transportation. Just think about it. Diesel, everything that is involved in transportation, whether it's buses, whether it's trucks, 18-wheelers, delivery, shipping, stuff like that. Diesel inside the companies where you're bringing production. All the equipment runs by diesel. Heavy equipment runs by diesel. I really want you to really look further than what is being advertised for everybody to see. Really look, get outside of the box. Go outside of the box and start thinking, how much further is this going to impact the communities? How much further is it going to impact the city, society, and so on? Really think about it. Diesel and rice, double. And we even mentioned this years ago, for people to stock up on food, to buy rice, to buy beans, to buy stuff like that, that will go further.
Yes.
To buy flour, to buy wheat, to buy things like that, that you can make bread, because bread does feed more. It goes further. It gets you full.
Oh, yes.
And I tell you, Dora and Joe can make some good bread. They've been picking up more skills on that.
More skills on the bread. Yeah.
And every time the bread comes out a different way, I'm like, yep, this is good.
It's like this is a good one too.
So just think about it. And we've been mentioning to people, look, stock up. Why? Because it's going to cost you less. You're going to spend less money right now than what you will spend 6 months from now.
Yes. And right now, as of today, we were at the store and just, picking up, I always pick up, water. Every time that I'm, walking to the store to grab something, I always pick up water. And we went to Walmart. It was a Walmart here in our town, and it was hardly any water at all. Pretty much gone. And the ones that were left, they were double in the price of the case of water. So it's like, it's already starting. It's already affecting that, we're not getting that much supply in, but what we are getting, it's doubled. So it's only going to get worse, guys. That's why we say, every time you get a chance to get something, get a little bit extra. Just because, you're saying, well, yeah, but it's going to cost me more. You think it's costing you now. Wait until, a month or two from now. And it's just going to get worse.
That's one store I avoid like the plague. But she is right about the prices, because I'm telling you, engine parts, I'm looking at them, and every time I look at a new magazine or I get on the website, I'm like, I can't buy anything anymore. It's gotten outrageous to even build hot rods or to build engines, even stock engines, to get out there, and everybody's kind of taking a step back and paying attention to what's going on. I'm just trying to warn you people. You have to get ready. You have to get prepared. You have to stock up. You have to do what you're able to do to make sure that you're self-efficient for yourself, that you're able to provide for yourself. You have to make sure that you have stuff stocked up, foods and supplies that you use.
Yes.
Get in your cabinets and find out what you really need, not what you want,
Right.
what you
Your
really
must-haves.
need.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your staples.
And then go buy extra. And just get ready. Hold on. And get in prayer. I'm telling you, that's the most important, is get in prayer, trust in Jesus. This is where a lot of people mess it up. I mean, they miss this 1,000%. They miss it 1,000%. They'll sit back and they say, I trust Jesus, I won't do a single thing. That is 1,000 plus 1% wrong. Jesus never said, sit on your butt and just say, I trust Jesus and I want to do nothing. Okay then, don't get a job. Don't pay your rent. Don't pay your bills. Don't go put fuel in your vehicle. Don't even get out of bed and say, I trust Jesus to brush my teeth. And you say, well, that's kind of stupid. No, that is the same concept that everybody uses when they say, well, I want to trust Jesus. I'm not going to prepare. Really? You're not reading your Bible then.
That's right.
Because we still have to take action. We are still responsible for what we are doing.
Yes.
That will be like, I'm going to disobey God's word and I'm going to say, I trust Jesus that he will go preach to somebody. When Jesus said for you to go preach.
Right.
For you to go tell somebody about Jesus.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, people. We have to take action. We have to get ready. We have to prepare, and not in fear. Not walking around all panicking in fear. No, not at all. Use some wisdom. And if for any reason fear comes upon you, take a step back and say, wait a minute. Something's wrong here because now I'm making decisions, irrational decisions. I'm buying stuff that I don't need. I'm spending money where I don't need to be spending. We are not saying not to enjoy yourselves because we still go and enjoy ourselves. In fact, we haven't gone anywhere to go enjoy ourselves, but we still go, you know. Whether it's going outside.
We've just been busy.
So guys, we just want to bring this to you that the world is falling into place. It is falling apart.
Yes.
But it's actually falling into place.
Yes, definitely. Guys, thank you again for joining us. Again, share, subscribe to our channel, and also share the content as well. Have a great rest of your day, and we will see you on the next video.